Hi, good afternoon. We're here with Antony Dickson from Anota. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm well. How are you, Mike? Are you okay?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Looking forward to today's interview. So, if you'd like to tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
How long have we got? So I'm Antony Dickson. I'm managing director of Anota. We're a Hull-based business, been around for just going into our 13th year now. In terms of what we do, we're a document management specialist. So anything that's involved with a bit of paper, a bit of digital paper, we build out workflows to move that and transform business process. We're also into software development. So we work with DocuWare primarily as our document management product. They're the global market leading vendor for that. Where we've kind of fitted is we've built ancillary products that enhance the functionality of that product. So we're on the Hull University campus, which is great for talent acquisition. It's really good for talent acquisition. Yeah, we've got a lot of university grads that work for us as well. So we're a team of 12 currently. We're recruiting in the next couple of months for a few more to come in. And we literally started we started life as myself in a garage, working from home, and I've built it up to what it is now. So yeah.
Excellent. Good work, Anthony. So, in terms of what makes you different, then, what do you think has been key to your success when it comes to your sort of unique points of difference against competitors or other people in your sector?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very competitive space. I suppose we've really looked at the market. So I've got a lot of clever people who work alongside me, around me as part of the team, and we spend a lot of time looking at the market, looking at what is really required, where the technical advancements are coming, and we've brought our own development team internally, and we've built out software that really enhances, as I said earlier, enhances the functionality of DocuWare. An example of that would be we have a product called Virto Suite, which basically sits between ERP and finance and DocuWare, and it does a load of clever validation. But basically, you can take an invoice that comes in via email usually these days, and we can OCR the data off that, validate it, and check it against the purchase order in your ERP system. And if everything matches, we post it without anybody doing anything. And that is unique to us. So that is our unique, that's a certified product by DocuWare as well, which we're hugely proud of. And that's a global certification. So I would say that is our unique, is spotting the enhancements that you can add on top of DocuWare and make life even easier. So that's what I would say with our uniques.
Good stuff. Yeah, definitely sounds like you're making business owners' lives easier by using that kind of technology and that facility. So, in terms of that journey, that 14 years and getting to that point of being, good, excellent at what you do, how's that journey been? Some people describe it as up and down. What's your version of events for your business?
Up and down is very, very a nice way of framing that. So, yeah, I think, as I said, we started off in literally in a garage, building out our knowledge, our product, our offering, and to get on that journey of building a team up in the early days is very cash flow centric. So you're kind of self-feeding all the time. That's really probably one of the biggest challenges, is getting the cash flow and getting enough business and regular business coming through that it allows you the freedom to be able to bring more people into the business. Fortunately, we've managed to do that 11 times over. So it's really, really difficult as a business owner stepping into something that's got no customers, no revenue, absolutely nothing, and I'm trying to build that up. And I set it up in the recession in 2009. So 2000, yeah, 2009. And my wife was, what are you doing? You're absolutely bonkers. You're leaving a really nicely paid job. But it was just something I had a burning desire to do. And as I reflect back now, I'm really sorry that I didn't do it a lot earlier in my career as well. But hindsight's a great thing.
Well, you can only make the steps that you do at the time with the knowledge that you have at the time. So
no, very true, very true. Yeah, but it's tough, but hugely rewarding.
Yeah.
I can cast my mind back now and go, yeah, you did the right thing, and yeah, you're on the right path.
Good stuff. You mentioned the word there, or a phrase, self-feeding. I've not heard that one before, but I'm going to use that because it encompasses reinvestment and also making the money off, natural organic growth. Would that be right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, interestingly, I was invited to C4DI in Hull last week, and I was on a panel of organic growth versus investment. I was obviously on the organic growth side, and it's really interesting. There was 4 people on the panel. 3 were investment, and I was organic growth, and it was very interesting listening to their journey. And yeah, I suppose I have considered investment previously, but there's obviously a loss of control with an equity investment or a VC raise or anything like that. And at least I'm in control of my own destiny, and I'm the boss. I don't report to anybody, just build a team around me that helps me deliver the objectives and the vision. So it's difficult. I mean, when we moved on to the software development side of our business, and we brought in 3 developers, literally all of our profits were going back in to feed that development cycle of the business. But we're now in a position that every time we advise a client or talk to a client, that product, Verto Suite, is wrapped up in all of our deals. So it's made a massive difference. It's made an absolutely huge difference to how we go to market and how I think the difference that we can make to a client. So DocuWare is great in its entirety, but the enhancements and the layers that we put on top of it make it twice as good. So yeah, it's been quite an incredible journey. And as I look back and go, how did I develop software? How did I develop a team of 12 people, and how have we got to where we are? I think Stephen Bartlett refers to it as imposter syndrome. And I went to a Vistage, I'm a Vistage member, and I went over to Manchester, and Stephen Bartlett was there, and he was talking quite a lot about imposter syndrome. And I smiled to myself and said, yeah, I've felt that at times, how have I got here and how am I doing what I'm doing? But I love it. Absolutely love it.
Following the natural journey that your business and obviously the market that you're serving is taking you. So it kind of leads on nicely, I guess, to the next question about biggest lesson that you've had since you've been in business. Is there one that you can pick out and share, a learning that kind of stands out, or it may be 2 or 3 rolled into one?
I think most definitely believe in yourself. Yeah, you've got to work incredibly hard to deliver that belief and deliver in the vision and values. But the biggest one for me is surround yourself with more intelligent people than you, which isn't that hard for me, to be fair. But surround yourself with people who are bigger and better than yourself and really complement you in what you're trying to deliver. That would be probably my biggest learning. Don't be afraid of employing somebody who's more intelligent than you, because actually they'll help you deliver what you need to deliver. So that's probably my biggest learning. And as I said, believe in yourself. If you see it, go for it.
So I think, it's a really good share. And part of being entrepreneurial in business is utilizing resources around you effectively in order to meet the goals that you want to do. So getting people that are better at certain things is key to that, because you can't do everything. So
absolutely, and
there's a skill in that.
Well, I think that's a very, very good point in its own right, actually, which adds further fruit to what we're discussing. So when I was building my team, there was a reticence to let go, and to be embroiled in absolutely everything. And it took me quite a while to actually feel comfortable enough. And I suppose you have to, it's a reciprocal trust. So your team need to trust you and trust where you're heading, and that's the right way to be approaching it. And on the flip side, I need to trust them to do their job. So I employ them to do a job. I need to give them the freedom to do that job. And that took me forever to actually let go. That's probably one of my biggest failings is being too embroiled in it, because I've only got a certain amount of time in a day. And when you try and be involved in absolutely everything, you just end up being a scattergun and you're not effective in anything. So that's probably a point that one of my learnings is, if you employ people and you've employed them for a reason, trust them to do the job that you've employed them to do. So huge.
I think that would resonate with a lot of people, whether they've gone through that or they're at the point of going through that now, as to how do I get to where I want to be, and the frustration that sometimes can be felt with not being able to let go. So really good point there. Thanks for sharing that. So if we were to look at advice, and we mentioned hindsight before, and offer a piece of advice to someone just starting out in business, or even going back in time to meeting yourself at 18, if there's a piece of advice you could offer, what would that be?
Oh God, personally, it would be believe in myself a lot earlier. So yeah, that would definitely be my advice. Apart from buy shares in Apple,
Yeah.
it would definitely believe in yourself and go for it, because who knows, I might have got there sooner, but I think I didn't go to university. I came straight out after doing A-levels, and whilst I was doing my A-levels, doing some part-time work, and I'd got used to having some money in my pocket, and then that part-time turned into full-time, and it was like, yeah, okay. And then I kind of shifted into sales, but so I didn't do the university trail, but I think it's harder now as a youngster, a young adolescent coming out of school and college and finding your way. I think it must be so challenging after the 2.5 years, 3 years worth of disruption that we've had. Their mental state and their belief in themselves probably has taken a big knock. And that's a whole other topic, to be fair, that I'm not going to dive into. But it must be quite frightening coming out. I've got a son at university at the moment, and he's just in his final year, and a daughter who's just at college doing her A-levels. And I look at them both and think, how are they going to be when they come, to start doing their first role? And are they going to cope? And are they savvy enough? And I don't know. I question it, to be fair. Hopefully they won't watch this video, because that wouldn't do them the world of good. But it must be really challenging coming out of school and college and university to go, right, it's the big bad world. How am I going to move forward?
Well, there's a lot of I suppose self pressure, or you can put on yourself. Then there's a lot of outside pressure with influences of how you should be, that word should, which I hate that word should, could be. But you do, and with experience and time comes wisdom. If you could pass that on to your younger self or your younger children and say, it'll be all right, just have a go, because success comes with loads of failure.
I've not succeeded in everything I've done. Being a business owner, yeah, you would like to succeed and not make mistakes, but we do. It's a natural thing, and hopefully you have mitigated and have a plan B should that happen. But at that young, tender age, at 18, 19, 20, 21, it doesn't really matter, because they've got 50 odd years in front of them. So it's just go for it. And if you have a passion, that is, if you can orientate your first job role around your passion, then it's not going to feel like a job. It's going to feel just like normal life. So that's quite difficult. How do you define what you're passionate about at 18? Do you know exactly what you want to be when you come out of college or university? No. So I think it's quite challenging. We as a business, we're just working with Hull University on an intern program, which is going to be very interesting. So it'll be 6 to 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, where an intern will come in and work with us on a specific project, and that's great because that's giving them an exposure to what business life is like. Some will want to stay with us and some won't. But try things. Do things that are different and try and make yourself stand out from the crowd. Because there's a lot of people just doing the same things, and life's not about that. Life's about really going for it and enjoying yourself. So find your passion and get stuck into it. That's kind of I don't know. Did I have a passion at 18 to be managing an IT business? Probably not, but it's amazing what you grow into.
That's it. Sometimes it doesn't have to necessarily be a passion in a certain area. It's a passion for relationships with people, and however you get that through the work that you do and bring in the right attitude, and you can find what it is that ticks your boxes. It doesn't have to be a sector specific. It can be relationship specific, if that kind of makes sense. And you can get the success that that we all desire or crave, or pats on the back and satisfaction, fulfillment from having the right attitude in the work that you do, taking that on. Brilliant. So what inspiration do you use to do what you do? Is there anything, it could be the customers you work with, the team, obviously teams coming across quite strongly here, friends, family, books you books you read, anything you listen to? You mentioned Stephen Bartlett there.
Yeah, God. It's a combination of all of that. I think my biggest pleasure is seeing people grow and develop within the team. That's what I really, really love. I love giving opportunity and seeing people flourish. And we've been very fortunate that we seem to have attracted the right people to our team. That really gives me massive passion. Huge passion about changing a business for the better. That's probably my biggest personal drive, is walking into a business and understanding where their problems are, what they're trying to achieve, and fitting in around that, but not really just replicating in a digital way everything that they're currently doing. Is exploring different ways and offering up different ways for them that they maybe haven't even considered. And I really, truly love that advice with the client. I do a little bit less of it these days as I'm building the team up, but getting embroiled in that side of things, and I'm spending a lot of time. I'm spending more time on the business than in the business these days, which
is a good sign.
Well, it is. Do I necessarily enjoy that bit? I don't know.
You want to have the choice, to be able to have the choice, so you can keep your hand in and do the cold face stuff as well. Good stuff.
So I think advising clients and seeing what we've delivered and what we've implemented, and seeing what a difference that makes to a business, that's a huge driver for me.
Excellent. Helping people there. Lastly then, in terms of latest news about what you're up to, even if it's the website about Anota, anything that you feel worthy of sharing, where we can find more about you're up to, feel free.
Yeah, no, that's really nice of you to offer that up. So hot off the press, in fairness, it's not actually been divulged or launched yet, but at the start of April, the product that we spent the last 2.5 years building out has shifted from what is, I'm going to get a bit technical here, so what is an on-premise version is now going into a SaaS version. So what does that mean to a customer? It basically means that they can have Docuware in the cloud, they can have our clever funky bit of kit in the middle called Virto Suite also in the cloud, and fully integrated into their ERP system. So that is being launched at the beginning of April. So watch this space. There'll be further updates both on the Anota website and also the Virto Suite website, both that's virtosuite.com and anota.co.uk. And also keep your eyes peeled on social media. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. That kind of brings a different price point to the client. So what's in it for the client? It makes it more affordable. No less functionality. It just makes it a bit more affordable for customers to adopt that kind of technology.
Excellent. Great stuff. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing all that you have on this interview. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Anthony. I wish you all the best for the next 12 years, was it?
Thank you for your time. It's been really nice. Nice to speak to a fellow Scouser as well.
Good stuff.
All right, speak soon. Cheers, Mike.
Thank you. Interview ending.